Hi everyone, how's it going today? I'm doing fantastic. I just wanted to do a little bit of a relaxing kind of video and maybe just chat with you a little bit as I do in this type of video. I just finished filming 2 new videos for my other channel. If you want to check that out, feel free to check the description. I have just a vlog channel or where I talk about books or movies or TV shows or anime or manga, anything that I'm into. If you're interested in that kind of thing, just go there if you want, no biggie. But you can see my cat coming in and out of this video. Like, he would not leave me alone that night, and it was pretty funny actually. I'm off from work today because it was supposed to be this big snowpocalypse back like down in the south at least, and I live in Mississippi if you don't know, and absolutely nothing happened. I thought it was pretty funny. I had a feeling nothing would happen. I did not actually expect nothing to happen, so they let us off work yesterday, told us not to come in today, and that we may even miss tomorrow. Nothing happened. It's pretty sunny, and I mean, it's cold, but it's not that cold, you know. It has to be fairly cold for freaking snow to come through. So I thought it was pretty funny when nothing happened, and all these kids are out of school. I'm out of work, and I won't be getting paid today, so that's a bummer, but I am glad to be off because I am getting things done, and I even get to do this, so that's a good thing. I'm always trying to make a positive situation out of something that seems bad. I am sad that the library is closed today. They decided since the schools are closed that they would be closed because I want to go get a library card because if you know my other channel, I've been reading a lot more, so I was excited to go and get an audiobook. I guess that'll just have to wait, which is fine. I get really excited about getting new books, and I have this really long TBR anyways, so I need to work through that. I did just get approved for a ARC, like a advanced reader copy from this publisher through a website, so I'm really excited to be one of the people who get a free copy of the advanced. It's not the final version, but it's an advanced copy that I can read and then give my opinion of. They want like honest opinions. They don't care if it's good or bad, but they're gonna send me a book and I'm gonna review it for them, so that's fun. Like, I'm so excited. Like, that's really cool, and it probably will suck, honestly, knowing my luck, but I'm still really excited to get to help these people and to get a free book out of it. That's pretty fun. I've also been reading a ton of comics and manga lately. I'm really enjoying getting into comic books. I have always wanted to read them, and recently I was given some money to do that, and I bought Nailbiters 1 and 2, and I read them. Love it. It's a adult like horror thriller. It's pretty gory, so I don't recommend it for minors, but it's a pretty good story if you're into that kind of thing and old enough. I got Severed, which is a one-shot horror comic, and it's pretty good so far. I've only gotten a little bit less than halfway through it, but I do like it. And I'm also reading Revival, which is fantastic. It is so good. I cannot wait to get volume 2. I finished it recently, and I love it. I just love it. I love a good horror story, and comic books are so beautiful because they have so many different people working on it, whether that's different artists or different writers or just 1 or 2 people doing everything. Like, that's amazing to me. Like, I wish I had the talent to do a comic, but my art style is not quite where I want it to be for that kind of thing. I would be interested in one day maybe paying or collabing with someone to write the story and work with them on the art, because there are people who are trained in that and they have gone to school and they know a lot more about making comics art-wise. I just have a story in mind that I would like to have in comic or manga form. Not so much that I can do it myself, but I think that would be fun to do one day. But I would definitely want to pay somebody very well for it because it would be a commitment, because I would want to finish it. I wouldn't want it just to be like a one shot. I would want it to be a series that I did and published one day. You know, that's one of the long-term goals. It's not like number 1 goal for me right now, but it is definitely something I've always been interested in. I've had this story in my head forever, and I would like to turn that into a reality with a artist that I trust and love their style. I would really love to read more indie comics. That's something that I'm very passionate about, is reading more indie type stuff of people that I even know personally, instead of like, you know, mostly Marvel or DC or anything. Like, I'm fine with reading those. I have yet to actually pick one up myself. I personally just want to support smaller people or people who are working with indie developers and indie companies. I think that's much more interesting interesting and the stories are much more creative in my personal opinion. I mean, Batman and Superman and Spider-Man and all that, they're great. You know, they started the craze, but I like to read original, like, created content that someone has put their heart and soul into, and it's not a corporation who may or may not have the best intentions in mind when creating their stories. I don't know how a big company thinks, so I like to support smaller artists when I understand where they're coming from. They're so passionate about something that they'll sink all of their life into it. They'll put so much money into it that they have or may not have. They just put their heart and soul into it. I mean, not everyone's the same, but typically an independent seller artist is much more passionate about what they do. I hope you guys are doing okay, mental health wise. I'm doing okay. I often go through bits of like anxiety for no reason, and I don't talk about it a lot here because I don't want to bother anyone else, and sometimes it's a burden on someone else to listen to someone else's problems, and I kind of feel like you should, you know, not put your worries on other people who don't even want it. So I guess if I'm gonna say anything mental health wise, I want to say that I'm okay. I just sometimes have to take a step back and breathe and try to get out of my own head, because my main problem with everything in life is overthinking things and analyzing to death, like analyzing anything anyone says to me or anyone does towards me and turning it into something that it's not. That's my personal problem. But anyways, let's move on from that subject. My husband's home now, and I got these really, really tasty biscotti cookie cake things from someone on Instagram, and we tried them out, and I like reviewed them, I guess, made a post on Instagram for them, and they're really tasty. They're called Marlowe's Bake Shop biscotti cookies, so you should check those out if you like biscotti. They're pretty good. This page in particular is a bunch of different apples, and they had their names, and I thought it was a really cool page as far as like artist's decision to do it. I didn't feel like looking up pictures of these specific apples, coloring them accurately. I guess that's just me being lazy, but I just went ahead and made decisions on what colors they should be. So if you're watching this and you're like, that's not the right color for a apple, I'm sorry, but you can buy this book and do it correctly and show me. I'll definitely praise you for that. I am currently rereading Fruits Basket. If you have never read the original manga, I really recommend it. It's so good, and it was something that I started reading back in middle school, fell in love with the characters, and read and bought all 23 volumes of it, and they're about to remake the series, so go watch the show, the original, and then read the manga, and if that's not too much of your life, watch the new one and we can talk about it, because I'm a loser and I'm gonna do that and I'm excited. I've also started a Goodreads account. It's this app or website that you can go to and register, and it just helps you keep up with all of the books that you've been reading. So if you like to read, or if you are wanting to start reading, it's a good way to keep up with what you've read, how many pages, statistics on these books, like male versus female writers, and comics and manga, and it's pretty much got any book you could ever find, and if not, you can add it yourself, I think, and it's helping me really push myself to read more, because I think back in 2016 I made a resolution that I wanted to read a lot more, and I have been getting better and better every year with it. I am a fairly slow reader, I think, compared to all the people that I watch here on YouTube that seem to be able to read 5 books in a day, and that just seems unrealistic to me in any aspect. I don't know a time in my life when I would be able to sit down and read 5 books, unless they were like 10-page books. Like, that just seems insane to me, to be able to sit down and read 5 over 200-page books. Like, that sounds ridiculous. I mean, I think that would be fun to do one day if I ever got to that point in my reading, to be able to read 5 books in a day. I don't think I'd want to do it a lot, because that might burn me out. I think it would be a fun thing to challenge myself to do. I just honestly don't think that that's ever going to happen for me personally, knowing how I read, and I get distracted very easily. So if the book is boring, I'm probably either going to DNF it, or I'm just going to take a year to read it, like a full year. I've done that before if a book's not interesting enough and I just want to finish it to know how it ends without just Wikipediaing it. It's a tough thing for me to be that invested for that long. But yeah, I think I've got to pretty much the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. These are really fun for me to do, and to just talk to you and let you know what's up kind of like an update in my life. And I hope you will like and subscribe and let me know what you're working on in the comments below. See you later.